standpoint, which I am a mystical guy. Not mystical to the point where you don't know what I'm saying. But but I look at it because he said something there. He said they just not discern the Lord's body. We taught on that before so many times. We got to discern the Lord's body. So I got to discern your grace. You got to discern my grace. That to me is the Lord's Supper. That's when I'm able to be bone to your bone and flesh is your flesh. We're joined together as one under one banner of love. Amen. So I'd rather have that order. And I had discontinued the Lord's Supper before, and sometimes you baby had the bath for a while. So we had to get the baby back, keep the water out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But if you need the scripture, the 1 Corinthians 11:34, Paul said he's going to clear everything out because you guys are mishandling something that was meant for life. You're bringing death to it because you didn't say about it. Number 2, he had a new order as it relates to establishing government in the local church. Go to, you can look at Titus 1 and 5 real quick. Titus 1 and 5. So he had an order, new order. Word order is taxis, which means there's an assignment. So if we looked at the first assignment was he established that the Lord's Supper is supposed to be partaken in purity with the right motive. That was the order. Amen. If you're hungry, go to McDonald's. No, I went to McDonald's around that time. But I mean, amen. New order. So another facet of the new order was in establishing the government in the local church. We look at what Paul told Timothy in Titus 1 and 5. He said, "For this cause I left I thee in Crete, that thou mayest set in order," there you go, the same word, "the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city, as I had appointed thee." So he wanted Titus to be able to, because he was a pastor. Titus was actually a pastor, young apostle, that he was going to use as the intermediary of his grace that's on his life. He said, "I'm going to use you to go into Crete and establish a strong apostolic base. But in the meantime, we don't need apostles there, we need elders." Don't worry about it. In fact, you find out in Paul's letter, most bishops and elders hung out in the same church, so you didn't find bishops over churches. But, yeah. But anyhow, establishing government in the local church. So that's what Paul said, "I would come." And when government is in the local church, and we relate to it, the order that's in the church, what happens? Go back to Titus 1 and 5 real quick. Thank you for your due diligence. Titus 1 and 5 says something that was profound. It says, "For this cause I left you in Crete." Because, I forgot to mention that Titus was also one of his sons. Timothy wasn't the only son that'll preach. "That thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city, as I had appointed thee." So he had an authority to establish eldership in a region. And when eldership is established in a city and in a church and in a region, there's no lack. There's nothing, nobody wanting. Wouldn't it be beautiful if we had a healthy respect for government in the local church? That as a fruit of us honoring what God is honoring what the apostles are honoring, that there will be no lack among us. Go to Amplify. Yeah. Y'all good tonight? I got 10 more minutes to wake up. So for this reason I left you behind in Crete, that you should set right what was defective and finish what was left undone. And that they might appoint elders and set them over the churches, assembly in every city as I directed you. Well, that'll preach. This is a good for a leadership lifeline. I think I taught on this before in our leadership classes. This is powerful. Paul said, "I ain't got to come to lay hands on nobody. You carrying my anointing well, go establish it." So there will be no defect. That's what happens when there's, I told you, when the government is established, there's no defect. I don't know why I got a defect. I don't either. I have not a clue. You're not supposed to be defective. Sometimes when something is defective, you have to make a couple of calls and send it back. Maybe some of us, most of us have been so defective for so long, we don't even know it. We've been in certain states of mind that we don't even realize it. And that's why elders are so important. That's why we need leaders after the Father's heart. They can look into your life and give you wisdom, give you counsel, because we know that Proverbs says there's safety in the multitude of counselor. And he also said on the other side of that B clause, that without safety and nothing but destruction. Without counsel, there's nothing but destruction. So sometimes we need wisdom. Sometimes we need an advice. Sometimes we need to ask people who are not in our circle. I mean, you got people in your circle that think like you. Most of your friends, that's why you got them. They think like you. And if they don't, you get rid of them. Come on. Some of y'all over 30, y'all know how it goes. You learned that early on in teenage years. Hey man, y'all started executing folks off the top. They be like, dang, you on your 5th friend and you on the 18th. That's the issue. Iron sharpens iron. And you need leaders that's going to sharpen you. Leaders that's going to make sure you don't have a blunt edge. So you can become a weapon of war. So you can begin to tread certain things in the realm of the spirit. Your acuity, which means your ability to see and apprehend and operate by spirit, is so important to our progression. That's why we need people that's going to bring order. We need the government of God. Number 3. Oh, I didn't give you 1 Corinthians 12 and 28. When it talks about how he sets up, Paul said, the Father set first apostles, secondarily prophets, and thirdly teachers. Boy, that's powerful. It's government in the local church. God said it. Pastors ain't first. Teachers ain't first. Evangelists ain't first. Apostles is first. Proton. Order and rank. God's going to do something in the earth. He's going to talk to those too. Moving along. Number 3. The operation of the gifts of the Spirit in the local church. The charisma. Let me go back to number 2. Yeah, I've been wanting to sling this stone for a while. Those that are watching, the 5-fold ministries are not offices. They're gifts. Ephesians 4 tells us specifically, he gave gifts unto men, not offices. 5-fold is not offices. I don't care. You can inbox me on this one. I go to toe-to-toe with this one because I know for a fact the word doma, if you dissect it and look it up, it's close to doxa. It has to do with honor. So the word doma is a grace. That's what it means. It's a grace gift. And the 5-fold is not over. They're under. Built upon the apostles, the foundation of apostles and prophets. It's never been God's intention to have 5-fold over. He's trying to rent every veil. And that's one of the veils that got to get rent. Correct government. Government is not to rule over. Correct government according to the Bible. When he told them, he said, you need to know how to rule your house well. When he talked to the bishops, he ain't talking about just ruling it with force. The word means to be an example. So it's not ruling with force, it's ruling by example. It's not done through legislation, it's done through modeling. That's why Paul said, as I follow Christ, follow me. You can tell the ones who submitted to your authority by what they follow. You can say you belong to the church, but you ain't following the instruction. You ain't following me. Number 3. Get out of that. I felt that sand sinking. 1 Corinthians 14:26. Y'all all right? Y'all alive? This is baby food, man. This ain't deep stuff. This is real 101, anything. Put it on salvation, kingdom, I don't know, 101. How about church government 101? That would be good. All right. Look at 1 Corinthians 14:26. Powerful. I didn't give you number 3 on purpose, did I? Verse, I'll tell you once we get there. 1 Corinthians 14:26. Everybody there? You know what? We can probably stay here. Now let's go back to King James. I like reading verses in different translations, different versions. It brings a lot. It says, how is it then, brethren, when you come together, every one of you have a song, a doctrine, tongue, revelation, and interpretation. All things to be done and edified. So there's a lot going on in that church. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Didn't have just a set man with a pulpit in there, evidently. Okay. He said, some of y'all. Oh, what? Everyone sound like all, right? Everybody that attended that church. Somebody had a psalm. Somebody had a doctrine. So there wasn't no clones. There was diversity. It was according to the grace that God gave them. Right? So it had a tongue, had a revelation. So you ain't got to worry about nobody trying to jockey for nothing. It was flexible. It was a good wineskin. Flexible wineskin, right? All right. He said, let all things be done unto what? Edifying. So these functions that was operating in the church is to edify the church. So if I got a revelation, it ain't the big head, it's to edify. If I got a psalm, a song of the Lord, psalm, hymn, spiritual song, I got something to offer as it relates to singing. It's for the edification of the church. A doctrine, a teaching, a tongue. It's for what? The church to grow, to be built up. Next verse. If any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by 2 or at the most by 3, and that by course, and let one interpret. What that means, because we got some churches that shut it down all the way. You got some Assemblies of God that get up on Sundays, they'll get up and say, thus saith the Lord, or somebody that speak in tongue first, then they'll come with the prophetic word, which is the early part of the chapter.